Black Land Lost Narrative Archive Project is an effort to collect, preserve, and amplify stories of Black land loss. It will form an invaluable resource for scholars, authors, historians, educators, storytellers, policymakers, and change agents who wrestle with issues of restitution, reparations, racial inequality in home ownership, and the racial wealth gap. Through documenting stories of Black land loss, the archive will help demonstrate the magnitude of what Black families have lost and will continue the national dialogue to encourage paths to restitution, rebuilding, and healing. Support the Black Land Lost Narrative Archive Project by visiting www.blacklandlost.org or by donating at www.blacklandlost.org/donate. Spread the word to inspire awareness, activism, leadership, and change. And join us in making a lasting impact. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
Soft life or the glam life is white femininity painted black. That's genuinely what it is. And a number of Black women cannot stand hearing that, but that's what it is.
You know, don't you think that it's almost empowering to see Black women taken care of and to see them allowed to live life softly and gently when we've seen the opposite for so long?
I do believe that it's empowering, and once again, at what cost? In order for you to be soft, I have to be what?
Hardworking, and
I have to be hard all the time.
Yeah.
I have to consistently sacrifice. If I've created a safe space for you, can you, outside of your soft life, outside of your rest, can you be that safe space for me without it creating a space of anxiety for you to say to yourself, if this man breaks, this will interrupt my soft life. This will interrupt my rest. That's what I mean when I say a number of Black men are afraid to engage in emotional investment because they are terrified that they will not get it back. So if we think about how often men actually get affirmed, if we think about those things as tokens, right? How often do those tokens get deposited into that emotional bank? Not very often. So if I don't have a lot of currency in here to begin with, How can I continue giving these things to you? Eventually, I will become emotionally bankrupt.
Whoa. Okay, so let me catch my breath, because I'm hearing that clip when you heard that clip. See, this proves, this justifies why I go so hard on these topics. So let me just go. So let's go back 30 years. So you remember there was a term, and I don't want to say it on the radio because now it's politically incorrect, but back then, you know, you could say it. I think I'm going to say it anyway, just for context. You bring, right, your strange friend around your big mama. She going to pull you to the side and she going to say something wrong with that boy. That boy ain't right in the head. Right? She going to tell you that she going to say that boy is slow. There's other words, right? There's other terms. Do I have to say them all? Right? Yo, that boy right there. That boy cheese done slid off his cracker now. I'm telling you, that's not who you need to be with. She would tell you straight up. Your mama would tell you, right? Now they had, that boy touched. That's the word. That's another one. That boy touched. He ain't all the way right in the head. Something wrong. You gonna get yourself in trouble hanging with, now I done told you, right? Well, the new term is neurodivergent, right? Neurodivergent. So it got me thinking. And of course, Attila was in there working like crazy. So listening to that, I'm going to tie it all together, right? So how many times have you met someone who did have someone in their life, some type of mentor, some type of counselor, some type of something, a father, a mother, somebody that had a little bit of wisdom that pointed out things that needed to be dealt with a specific person internally. Hey, if you don't get a hold of that anger, it's going to consume you. And yet the person decides to ignore, or they're not ready. See, I'm telling you, until we get this thing figured out, we're going to we're not ready. Oftentimes is literally making an excuse to not face yourself, right? So many times, first off, there is no get ready. Life keep lifing whether you ready or not. There is no get ready, right? You listen, keep living, like Big Mama would say, keep living. You're going to find out. Do you understand? So you've come to these people and you've said, or you've seen people come to them. You've seen them get advice and direction, and they made a conscious choice to turn it down. So from the term neurodivergent, which deals with something very specific and is totally different than tonight's topic, I said we're going to make it spiritually divergent. When you turn down spiritual instruction that you know is true, you're spiritually divergent. And a deeper look at how we spiritually handicap our potential in favor of creature comforts. I know you're not ready for tonight's topic. I'm going to stay controversial. I'm going to stay wild, okay? But when I hear clips like that, right? Soft life, you got to stay hard. But why would you even entertain the conversation? Okay, attachment styles. Oh, I got it. But the reality of it is we live in a spiritually divergent society, right? Society is based on what you have, not who you are. Most of the times, who you are scares the bejesus out of people. Scares them. They go, oh, God, he knows who he is. He's not hiding behind his car. I can't manipulate him. He's not hiding behind his belt. He's not hiding behind his bank account. Do you understand? Same with men. When a woman truly knows who she is and radiates the truth from her spirit outward, he's intimidated. Oh, well, the tricks that I use to convince, convert, cajole, manipulate, assuage, all of that's not going to work. We live in a spiritually divergent society. The samsaric partner, trauma bonding as karmic math. What is the samsaric partner? Well, if we look into the ancient Hindus, samsara. Oh, I love it. At one point I was going to name my daughter Samsara. Beautiful name, but then I looked up what it meant and I was like, wow, maybe I don't want to do that. Samsara actually is the Sanskrit term that actually means the endless cycle of life, or of birth, life, and death. That's what it means. What is the fuel for samsara? Karma. Karma is the Sanskrit term for action, doing. If you keep doing the wrong thing consciously, you're spiritually divergent. Did you hear the caveat? If you keep doing the very things that stymie your internal potential, right? This is a hard war I'm asking you to fight. The war against yourself. The war against who you think you are based on where you came from and what you modeled and what you were taught. You will remain spiritually divergent. We are living right now in the comfort genocide of relationships. How your Netflix binge funds ancestral murder. Spiritual divergence isn't enlightenment. It's civilizational malpractice. Neuroscience confirms creature comforts atrophy the anterior cingulate cortex, 22% gray matter loss. I know you're not ready for tonight's topic. While methylating OXTR genes, epigenetically binding descendants to reenact karmic cowardice, self-cowardice. I'm not looking at me no more. Somebody got to come in and make it all better. I'm telling you, Princess and Prince Charming do not exist. You're the sovereign over your soul. And if you don't take responsibility for its development, it will indeed atrophy. And when it atrophies, that doesn't mean it loses its magnetic field, its pull. It's still going to pull in what it is so it can see its degradation. Jung's shadow work becomes impossible when dopamine-drenched complacency hijacks System 1 thinking, collapsing quantum realities into Thomas Campbell's trauma loops. Black women's NR3C1 mutations prove comfort-seeking isn't self-care. It's ancestral betrayal. You were born to reconcile what they didn't have enough time to complete. I know you don't want to hear it put that way. It's ancestral betrayal, forcing womb heirs, the heirs of ancestral wombs, to set tables for emotional colonizers. Oh my goodness. The data shows 72% of soft life adherents admit theta waves, which is 4 to 7 hertz, that entangle offspring's mitochondrial DNA with samsaric suffering. Now remember, samsara, the Sanskrit term for birth, life, and death. It never ends. The never-ending Listen, the Hindus believe in reincarnation, right? You just keep coming back. You say, oh, well, that's a Hindu belief. Well, no, we all from the South, right? Remember Big Mama and them see that new baby? They said, bring that baby here. Let me see who came back. Oh, no, we got lessons to complete. I keep telling you, it's not a generational curse. If you accept it, it becomes generational curriculum that you are to study, learn, understand why, when, where, how, who, and then the buck stops with you because you have the pen of self-authorship that can now rewrite the generational legacy. But it's hard work. Doesn't feel good, right? I know this is tough, right? But I don't care. I have to hit you upside. Are you spiritually divergent? Something wrong with that boy. That boy there don't want to do his work. That boy there, that girl there, she's going to ignore. She's going to buy into all these social media created concepts and narratives just so they can continue to ignore the work that must be done. Neurotheological genocide, how your Netflix addiction lobotomizes 7 generations. Do dopamine surges from soft life rituals downgrade OXTR genes, forcing descendants to reenact your spiritual laziness as epigenetic karma? Yikes! Here's the empirical insight. 83% of comfort addicts show 22% less anterior cingulate cortex gray matter. Neurological proof they fail Jung's shadow work. This is NIH 2024. This is all empirically backed. I don't care what time you live in, what generation you live in. One thing you ain't gonna be able to do is escape you. Wherever you go, there you are. And so is your work. Softies, when we come forward, the voice of reason, we're gonna unpack epigenetic karma. Let's go.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
The revolution will not be televised.
What's up? It is Killer Mike, also known as Michael Render, and I'm encouraging you to listen to more, not less of Truth Time with Dr. Cornel West and Senator Nina Turner on KBLA Talk 1580.
Time is up. The IRS is in full collection mode for 2024, issuing liens, levies, and garnishments to anyone who has a past tax debt or unfiled tax returns. Don't wait till it's too late. Your paycheck and bank accounts are at risk of being seized. Call now and stop the collection process today. If you're living check to check, no matter how much you're making, you still may qualify for the Fresh Start programs offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. It's just a 5-minute call to get your options, and it's free. If you owe back taxes, have years of unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wager bank levy, or finally just want to sleep better, business or personal, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief while there's still time. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and tough. This veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. The call is free. Call their hotline number now, 800-652-1714. That's 800-652-1714. Find out if you qualify today. Call 800-652-1714 or go to republictaxrelief.com.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
You become more interested in that little space around it than in the condition. So you give more attention to that, the spaciousness that around that comes with the acceptance of what is, and you can sense that space a bit more.
It feels sometimes that the yearning for getting back to the source is very undeniable and very strong. But in equal strength is the resistance, which seems to me to be almost it almost sort of manifests as a physical energy, which I feel as a sense of sorrow and loss, which is nothing to do with this lifetime and nothing that I can understand or put my finger on, but it seems to get stronger, not any less strong. And it sort of seems to be almost a sense that if one drops into that space, there's something almost unbearable has to be born. If that makes
Can you just talk a little bit more about how you experience the resistance? How does it manifest?
Sometimes it's almost a physical. I can feel it as a physical resistance in the body. I can almost feel like there's a physical energy that I can't get underneath. And I guess even in meditation, when it feels like maybe the mind is stilling a bit, it just doesn't go there. It's just avoiding something.
Are you able to step out of thinking when you choose to, like taking your attention, as we said earlier, to take a conscious breath, or place your attention in the body? You're able to do that? I
can do that in moments of qigong or meditation, but
in everyday life.
Moments, but not as much as I would like.
Yeah.
But I think that has almost got worse. I think the games that the mind is playing have almost got worse as this energy's got stronger of late.
Yes. And the yearning, how do you experience that? For stillness or peace?
Like both of those, but also as a sense of sorrow, strangely, if that makes sense.
Yes. Well, I'm trying to feel myself into your reality as it is at the moment. A powerful transformation can happen when and this is one way of approaching it, which may be helpful to you, is not to desire anything within you to be different from the way it is now. So that would mean complete acceptance of whatever it is that you experience at any given moment. At the moment, there are these energies in you, but you don't really want them. So there's a conflict between what you want and what you have. Now, if you approach it in a different way, instead of having what you want, perhaps you want stillness, you want peace, you want that deeper sense of aliveness. Perhaps that's the yearning. You want to be fully yourself. And what you have is perhaps you feel contraction in the body, you feel excessive mind activity, you feel an almost semi-physical energy field blocking you. So you have the two. You have what you want and you have what you have. Now, as a practice, that I would suggest, and next time we meet you can tell me how it went, I suggest that you do away with the conflict between what you have and what you want, and you want what you have instead, which means whatever your inner reality or outer reality, but we're talking mainly about inner now, whatever your inner reality is right now, as it's always now, of course, it's not a big thing, it's only the reality now. Accept it totally. This is what is. And so bring that. Acceptance is a strange thing when you really can say, well, that's what is. You might as well accept it because it is the reality of this moment.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. The Pentagon has removed an article on African-American baseball legend Jackie Robinson's Army service amid President Trump's DEI purge. It detailed his military career, court-martial acquittal, and MLB legacy, but remains available on the Internet Archive. Kevin Howell is making history as North Carolina State's first black chancellor. An alum of the university, he was also the school's first black Student Government Association president in the 1980s. He starts his new role on May 5th. The Maui Police Commission will decide soon whether to place Chief John Pelletier on leave. He's accused in a lawsuit of helping cover up a sexual assault linked to Sean Diddy Combs, which he denies. And New Jersey lawmakers are seeking to honor the 688, the only all-black women's battalion in World War II. A bill proposes May 18th as 688 Day, recognizing their service despite racism and sexism. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Experience adventure at Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. Ride the world's largest rotating tram car. Explore over 50 miles of scenic trails in pristine wilderness. Dine at 8,500 feet with awe-inspiring views and get that perfect souvenir. Adventure at its peak. Learn more at pstramway.com.
A new day is on the horizon. Behind every great moment in history, there's a woman whose story went untold.
This March, KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates the trailblazers who changed our world. From Rosa Parks to Constance Baker Motley, from Katherine Johnson to Kamala Harris, these are the voices that broke barriers, challenged limits, and reshaped America. Join us all month long as we honor the women who dared to dream, fight, and lead. KBLA Talk 1580, amplifying women's stories that inspire generations.
To the 100 million people who owe the IRS money, this message is for you. We've helped tens of thousands of people close the door on their tax debt. So if you feel like you're stuck in a hole with IRS tax debt, then this is the easiest way to get a resolution quickly. To qualify for a no-pay or low-pay resolution, visit taxclosure.org to get free from the IRS once and for all.
To keep your bank accounts, income, and assets secure, tax closure is your same-day cure.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds. Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-511-2112. That's 800-511-2112. 800-511-2112.
KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
if you're not in this group of men, just listen to the conversation. Like it or not, today women want their top 20% of men. They're open about it. All you have to do is go back and look at my channel and see the videos. They want that man for economic reasons, for culture reasons, or social class reasons, blah, blah, blah. That's what it is. And it ultimately comes down to, you know, many different questions. But I've said that having pretty privilege is almost like being a high value man, except a man has to make himself high value. A woman is born with pretty privilege. She just has to maintain it. The difference is being high value lasts a hell of a lot longer. But here's the real question. Today women, unlike times in the past where a woman used to be pretty women used to still have to feel like they had to do something. Meaning, if you were born and you were a natural beauty, your family still made sure you knew how to cook, clean, take care of a man, be a wife. I want you guys to think about the Vanessa Williams character in Soul Food. There was Vanessa, there was Vivica, and there was Nina. All of those women were beautiful, but Vanessa was arguably the finest of them all.
I hear where you're going. And I'm being triggered. I don't even want what he's setting up. Right? Yes, the woman had to be taught to do this. The woman had to be taught to do that. The woman had to perform, blah, blah, blah. I get it. I'd rather have a woman who loves from the truth of her being, not from the obligation that is associated with her gender. She could be miserable as hell, and the house is clean, and everybody fed. Have you ever eaten food that was cooked with ill intent? A woman can break up with you by making a delicious meal. Do you? I don't think y'all understand. This is what I'm saying. But for this culture, those types of conversations make sense to everyone. Do you understand? What he's talking about is right here. The black woman's karmic table. How wound trauma enslaves her to serve enemies. Does Queen Afua's ancestral womb trauma mutate NR3C1 genes, karmically binding black women to set tables for emotional colonizers? Here's the empirical insight. 72% of black women unconsciously replicate caretaker roles from slavery-era survival patterns. That's Helms, 2023. That's literally Sankofa betrayal. The point that I'm making tonight, in tonight's topic, right? Are you spiritually divergent? You need a better term? Are you on the spiritual short bus? Did you choose to sit in the corner and wear the spiritual dunce cap? See, spiritual divergence is this. And this should give it to you in a nutshell, right? Here it is. This is spiritual divergence as I'm defining it. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. Carl Jung. That's spiritual divergence. We are living in a society that goes, okay, Zoe, you just brought up a great point about the ancestral connection with women, serving their emotional colonizers, right? So isn't it right for women to rebel against doing? No. The fact is, if you were doing it to fulfill an obligation as defined by a role, who's to say you really wanted to do it in the first place? Love is about being. You can't be anything while performing a role. We played our guy, Bill Duke. He says, the director is not asking the actor to play the role of a murderer. He's asking the actor to become a murderer. And using that analogy, what I'm saying is, if you are a nurturer, be a nurturer. If you are empathetic to others, be empathetic to others. I'm not saying don't protect yourself or whatever, but you have to be careful with the terminology that's being laid out here. Because if everybody is in hypervigilance protection mode, now whatever the thinker thinks, the prover will prove. You start to project out enemies. Oh, there's an enemy. I got to protect myself. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm here to tell you, when you vibrate at a high enough level, you're going to irritate all the demons in those people who have yet to confront themselves, and they're going to run from you as if you are an exorcist. That's just how it works. There's not a lot of effort in keeping people away from you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we live in a spiritually divergent culture. This is a culture that does not understand the purpose of relationship, the purpose of love. They don't understand any of this. All they understand is, what can you give my wounds? And then I'll barter and trade with you whatever you want. And we'll do that until getting what we thought we want starts to show its true worth. See, sometimes you got to get what you want so you can understand that what you wanted and where that desire came from, what you wanted actually really isn't worth all you thought it was. You got to get it first in order to assess its true value. Do you understand? Do you understand? Spiritually divergent. You're making a conscious choice to do what Carl Jung says. Most people will do anything, no matter how absurd it is, to avoid facing their own souls. So relationships have become hideouts until you get found out in the relationship. Does that make sense? We got callers on the line. I'm going to get to them on the other side. Listen, the phone lines are open. If you want to participate in tonight's conversation, please join us. 1-800-920-1580.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
I joined the military for my kid and his mom. I miss my son a lot. One of the things with the military is tobacco, but that's how a lot of people try to deal with mental issues. Everyone's vaping constantly. After my first hit of a vape, I was hooked like that. Once I got back home from my deployment, I caught my son trying to hit my vape. That was it. I had to quit.
Isaiah started vaping to try to deal with stress and quit because of his son. Learn how he and other Californians are rising above big tobacco at undo.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach, transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal, prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Self-harm is when a person intentionally hurts or harms themselves, and it can result in both small or severe injuries. A common myth is that self-harm is an attempt to die by suicide. However, many individuals self-harm to cope with intense feelings, emotions, or various other reasons. Here are some other myths about self-harm. Myth 1. People that self-harm are seeking attention. Most people that self-harm try to hide any signs of self-harm. People self-harm for various reasons, such as a way to cope with emotions, and usually it's a sign that the person may need support. Myth 2. Self-harm is only done by teenagers. While research shows that self-harm mostly occurs in teenagers and young adults, self-harm is a behavior that can also occur in adults. Myth 3. Self-harm is a phase, and people will outgrow it. Self-harm is not a phase, and is often used as a way to cope with intense feelings. If left untreated, it can lead to serious outcomes. Encourage treatment and ask how you can support them.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Voice of Reason is on complete fire tonight. We're going to keep digging deeper and deeper and deeper. That's what it's about, tonight's topic. Are you spiritually divergent? Here, I'll go first. I'm spiritually divergent. I'm on the spectrum. I'll own it. Listen, we're all works in progress. No one is completely healed. No one. Even those that are considered enlightened, empaths, whatever. No one is completely healed, right? So we're all at some spot on the spirituality spectrum, right? And here's the thing. Spirituality is non-linear. So guess what? Wherever I am has nothing to do with where you are. And from where I am versus where you are, there is no judgment in the different spaces that we're in. Do you understand? But it's all a work in progress to evolve, right? Evolution is to be introduced to new aspects of yourself. And this process can happen throughout the entirety of your life. Everything about your life is rooted in spiritual revelation. And God set it up for you to get the most knowledge about yourself within relationships, starting with the home. The home sets the tone. Somebody meme that and send it to me. When it comes to intimate relationships, the home sets the tone. And what's important, you've got to change the tune of the tone you modeled from the home. You have to change the tune. It's very important. We got a caller on the line. Let's get him in here. Theo from Charleston, South Carolina. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
What's going on, Joe? It's a very heavy topic you got tonight. Especially where one might be coming from a space of codependency, based off the message you sent earlier. So how I see that now is there may be the modeling of individuals that were around me that were family members that I modeled as far as the communication style, and recognizing that now I have to do the inner work, like you said, from the dark side of it, to sit alone, which is what I do a lot of the time because I'm going up and down the road. I try to distract myself with stuff that makes sense and not stuff that's going to tear me into having a conversation when I'm out with everybody else. I'm like you in a sense. I don't care. I'm neurodivergent as well. I'll sit alone. You don't want to come up to me, please stay where you are.
Let me make sure we're on the same topic. Spiritually divergent, not neurodivergent. Okay. Some totally different that we're introducing tonight. Spiritual divergence, meaning there's a reluctance to do the work.
Of course.
Right?
And I mean, why would initially that's I feed off of that. You know what I mean? I feed off wanting to have knowledge. Not I would love to have a physical connection with somebody in a sense, but I know that there's I guess my brain has to be in a certain place to be able to even have that conversation with a person when it's time to be able to do so. Mm-hmm.
But let me just say this.
Go ahead.
Let's just keep it a buck, because I know you. Here's the reality. Can you be with a person without wanting them to be what you want them to be?
If that person knows how to communicate what they feel that they want, yeah, why not?
So what happens if you get what you want and then you realize that it's not what you want?
That's something that's something that's inside of me that is recognizing that I don't want that.
But do you see what I'm saying? You got to walk them through this experience to get to that point and then say, you know what? This isn't what I want. So are you considering them in the process of you not really knowing what you want until you have it, and then not knowing how you're going to value them when you get it? Do you see? Do you see what I'm trying to point out to you?
Right.
No, not right. Do you see it?
Yes, because there's a part of me that has to relinquish control. So I got to be able to I got to be able to watch this person in real time do what it is that they think they want to do.
Now, ask yourself a question. Even before you build a connection with them, do you care enough about other human beings, sans your wounds demands? Do you care enough about other human beings to say, you know what, I shouldn't have to take you through this process?
Right. No, I understand exactly what you mean by that. Honestly,
now you're about to make my point. You're about to make my point perfectly right here. Because watch this. Have you taken people past that point? Right? Have you taken people on that journey before?
As far as letting them know what I want?
No. Telling them what you want, getting with them, building connection. Now that you have them, realizing they're not what you want. Have you been on that journey before?
Yeah. 2.5.
I'm sure you have, right? Did you feel empathy for them for taking them on the journey?
Yes.
Or were you really thinking about, man, I'm disappointed. I didn't get what I want.
No. I can I always look at myself second fiddle in relationship a lot of the time, and I know that's not correct. I know I shouldn't be going about it that way. So if I'm already willing to give a person a part of me by indulging it in whatever it is that they want, then I immediately I'm making myself sicken. You get what I'm saying? So
now, Theo, we've had many conversations over the years, my friend, and you haven't always been this ingratiating to people you've dated. We've had conversations. You're talking to me like we've never talked before, Theo.
No, listen, passion is passion. Like emotion is one thing and passion is another. There are times where I call in, and I'm passionate about what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I know the difference between the two. But if I'm emotional about something, I can humble myself to have a full understanding of what it is that I think I'm experiencing in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, like, I guess I would be more on the passionate side, but it's not running rampant. You get what I'm saying?
So, again, are you familiar with the famous quote from Einstein when he talks about insanity?
Mm-hmm.
Are you?
No, go ahead. I'll go ahead. I'm listening.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Right.
Now, of course, we don't know if Einstein actually said this. It's debated. But it's attributed to Einstein. But this defines spiritual divergence.
Mm-hmm.
Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Meaning, watch this. If I know, I'm anxious, preoccupied, I'm going to chase this girl. I know I'm doing myself a disservice.
Disservice, right.
To my spirit, right?
Right.
When we come forward, you're going to answer my question. How have you done yourself a disservice? How have you been spiritually divergent to self?
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. The Pentagon has